Hi, this is Matt Sorum, our new drummer.
Hello, folks.
My pally pal, rhythm section. He did the whole record, if anybody wants to know. And album's being mixed, and off we go to Rio. First live gig with Matt playing drums.
170,000 screaming kids.
2 nights. So that's 2 times, it's 340,000.
Times $20. No.
We've been rehearsing at a little rehearsal place and just getting warmed up for and geared up and psyched up to do the tour. Rio should get us in the groove there. Yeah. I mean, you know, usually you don't play those gigs till the end of the tour, you know. We're doing it backwards. That's how we do everything.
Yeah, it's backwards.
But we'll be ready for Rio.
No problem.
Make sure 6 is plugged into 6 and 7's into 7, Randy. Get away from me.
We'll go over it before we go on.
Yeah, smile.
Rio de Janeiro! Stop your grinning and drop your linen! From Hollywood, California, Guns and Roses!
Actually, I talked to my mom. She lived in Seattle before I went. She goes, "You going where?" I said, "To Rio." You know, I said, "Rio, Mom. You know, we're going to Rio." And she goes, "Watch your ass." I think we heard about it about 4 months ago or something, 3 months ago, 4 months ago. And we were right in the middle of doing our record, so it was kind of a pain in the ass. So, but I was done, and Matt was done, and we were done with the basic tracks. All we had to do was sing backgrounds and mix. So Matt and I had time to go in and start rehearsing. Slash was still in doing guitars. Slash and Izzy came in, and it was like, you know, we had just got done getting Matt as a drummer. So Matt and I rehearsed together. It was great to finally get a drummer. Matt is just a solid drummer, you know, and he's not like a kid like all like excited, you know, like shitting bricks, you know, and we go on stage in front of 140,000 people. First time he's ever played with us, you know. And for that matter, Dizzy, the piano player, who was actually kind of shitting bricks because the biggest crowd he ever played to was like 400. Matt's, I hate the word, but he's a pro, you know. And for him to come into this band, because we don't have a set list, you know, we just kind of call off songs, if that, you know, or just kind of like somebody starts off the next song. And we kind of told Matt that like 5 minutes before we went on. This is not a set list, by the way, Matt. It's a call list. And by the way, you're doing a drum solo tonight, too. You know, so he can take the pressure. We don't know, you know, we're on tour. we don't know if the whole band's gonna be there, you know, at the gig. And it becomes like, just like a kind of joke, like a nervous kind of laughter joke, you know? What time are you guys going on? I don't know if we're even gonna go on at all, you know? As we're opening for Aerosmith, you know? You become accustomed to it, you know? How many songs are you gonna play tonight? I don't know, maybe only 2 or 3, you know? So.
Shed a tear 'cause I'm missing you. I'm still alright to smile. And girl, I think about you every day now. There was a time when I wasn't sure, but you put my mind at ease. There is no doubt you're in my heart now. Said woman, take it slow, and things will be just fine. All we need is just a little patience. Said woman, take this time, lights are shine so bright. You know that we could use just a little patience. Sit here on the stairs 'cause I'd rather be alone. If I can't have you right now, I'll wait, dear. Sometimes I get so tense, but I can't speed up the time. But you know, babe, that there's one more thing to consider. Woman, take it slow, and things will work out fine. All we need is just a little patience.
For all the differences the band has had and all that, when it comes down to it, you know, we do what we do best, and that's write songs and make music. And finally get it down on tape and release it. You know, that's really actually the hardest part, is getting it on tape. But as far as writing songs and getting them to the point where we like them and rehearsing them to the point of where we can actually go into the studio and go, okay, we're ready for basics. We're ready to, you know, here's a song. We don't have any, you know, a lot of bands, most bands, I would say 95% of the bands have, like, their producer, they'll hire a producer, or their A&R guy or their manager will say, this song, you need to change here and there and this and that. And the band will go, okay. You know, we'll take some constructive criticism, but we know what we want to write, you know. So usually, if we change a song at all, it usually comes from like one of the road crew, you know. It's like, that part sucks, you know. Usually my bass buddy, actually. There was a time when everything was really kind of dark and grim and hardcore. All the songs were like, we were like, whoa. We go to rehearsal, everybody was wearing black and shit. We didn't even notice it. It was like, rrr. All the songs were about something kind of dark, but something that's real. None of the songs are like written about. They're all, you know, basically nonfiction songs. A song called "Why Do You Look at Me," and then in asterisks, "When You Hate Me." It's about the press. It's like, you know, the words are, "Why do you look at me when you hate me? You know, why do you look at me when you know I hate you too?" And it's about the press, you know, writing shit they have no idea about, and so if they're getting so hardcore about us and they don't like us, why do they even write about us? You know, it has something to say about them, you know. they're looking for this record to absolutely suck and go, you know, tits up, down the drain, whatever. And I'm confident and fortunate enough to work with the guys, you know, to write songs with the guys in my band, you know, that, and be positive enough that I know, without them even hearing the songs yet, that the album won't do that. Even if it's not successful sell-wise, which, you know, I don't really, that's not a proof of anything, you know. Some of my favorite albums only sold 10,000 copies, if that. You know, like a lot of other people say, oh, they've sold all these records, you know. And not looking through it to the music, you know, which a lot of people will jump to at first, just how many records we sold, which I'm sick of.
I'd like to introduce you to somebody new in the band. Someone who came along, and if it hadn't worked out, we wouldn't be here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Matt Sorum, ready to bear his ass right now. Take it away, home.
Going to see Jesus.
When I promised you hard and heavy fans we were coming down here with Guns N' Roses, here you are, on top of the world in Rio. Well, I was figuring about 100,000 people, but it ended up being 140,000, so it was quite a nice little warm-up gig, you know? A lot of fun, really, you know, and really my first rehearsal with Axl in front of 140,000 people, so it was interesting. For me, it was kind of wild because, you know, it was the first time I've ever heard him sing with the band, with me playing, you know? So a couple times when he'd do some screams and stuff, you know, kind of throwing me for a second, maybe, you know, mess up my fill or something, you know. When I joined the band about 8 months ago, you know, everything was in turmoil, you know, and the band's really come together, and we pumped out a lot of tunes for this new album, and, you know, everything's going really well. I wanted to play drums like from the day I could talk, you know. Well, not right this second, but.
An interview.
What was the question again?
Tell me.
What made me start drumming?
Yeah, what made you get into it?
I just always wanted to play drums. I got my first set of drums when I was about 5 years old. You know, just always banging on things, you know, I don't know. My first band I was really into was probably Black Sabbath. You know, during like junior high school. I guess that's what made me hit drums so hard, because I saw Black Sabbath and, you know, his drumming was just so amazing, Bill Ward, back in those days, you know. And I liked his power. And then I got into Zeppelin and all the stuff that the rest of the guys are into, you know, Aerosmith. And they told me about 5 minutes before I was going on I had to do a drum solo. Yeah, that's what happened. That's the first time I've ever done one. So, and then he introduced me to the crowd, and I kind of went, well, what do I do? Solo.
there's not one single solitary thing in my life that it comes close, you know, or it has any kind of priority over this band. Ever since before it really got going, when we were doing clubs, all right, I'd sold whatever it is you sell a long time ago, you know? And even when I was fucked up, I was only fucked up because of this band. I mean, so it's always been like that. And I'm just really happy to see it, you know, and I'm also because of the new material and stuff, it's like when you're really proud of something and there's just so many things in it that I'm so proud of, and I'm just really excited. So, you know, it's all I think about.
Talkin Jive. This is the first gig with everybody involved in a long time, especially for, you know, with two new people, right? It's the first show that we've done. It was fucking, no matter how many technical problems we had and this and that, we fucking had a fucking blast, you know? And I could turn around and it was like, turn around and it was those people that I know so well, you know? It was great. We'd like to thank your country for having us and all the other bands down here.
I'd hate to think that was all a big farce. You know?
That's where the bullshit stops, right there.
Yeah. That's where the bullshit always stopped. You know, it was all the other bullshit that made everything difficult. When it came down to the people we play for, you know, whoever it is out there that we entertain, that was always the simple part. It was everything else that makes it so fucked up and so complicated and so unenjoyable sometimes.